Bisbee Justice Court is now in session. All rise.
Good morning. You may be seated. And again, sir, could you please tell me your last name so I don't mispronounce it?
It's Guget.
Guget. And this is the time set for the motion hearing in the case of the state of... That's it?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Guget, would you like to make an opening statement?
I can, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, this charge arises entirely from my speech and expressive conduct. Under Arizona's anti-SLAPP statute and the First Amendment, once protected activity is shown, the burden shifts to the state to demonstrate a probability of prevailing with competent evidence. They have not done so here, and dismissal is required.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Long?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I stay seated?
You may.
Your Honor, we're here today because Mr. Guget committed disorderly conduct and harassment in violation of Arizona law. Mr. Guget filed an anti-SLAPP motion pursuant to ARS 12-751, which requires the person who filed the motion to establish prima facie proof that the legal action, in other words, that the legal action or the complaint against him in regard to his disorderly conduct and harassment charges was filed to deter, retaliate, or prevent lawful exercise of a constitutional right. This did not occur. Pursuant to 12-751, before we get to whether Mr. Guget made a prima facie case, the defendant must testify to prove that he has met his prima facie case. And Your Honor, I'm just curious if you have watched the video.
I did.
Okay. So the defendant has not met the prima facie burden regarding his speech and conduct. Defendant is charged with disorderly conduct and harassment, one of which is non-speech related, so that would not fall under this anti-SLAPP motion. While defendant has made assertions in his motion that he should have to provide testimony as to the proof of that prior to you deciding that he has met his prima facie burden. Ultimately, these are issues for trial, whether the conduct that Mr. Guget engaged in meets the definition of harassment, or whether the words Mr. Guget used meet the definition of disorderly conduct. However, the traditional elements of freedom of speech are not present. All our victim was doing was trying to throw his trash away.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Guget, you filed the motion, so I'm going to go ahead and allow you first to speak, and the court will determine at that time, before we get into any disorderly conduct or harassment issues, to prove that there is prima facie evidence that you have complied with that portion of the statute. So if you raise your right hand, the clerk will swear you in. You don't swear in, man? Okay, I'm sorry. What are we doing? What are we doing, Douglas? I'm sorry. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will be providing at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And if you would please state your name for the record.
My name is Nolan Guget.
Okay, Mr. Guget, go ahead and provide your testimony as to the prima facie regarding the motion that you have filed.
Yeah, so the prima facie is based on the timeline, on October 15th, I filed a special action against the city of Bisbee, the Superior Court. 2 days later, on October 17th, these criminal charges were filed against me by the state for an incident that occurred 5 months, nearly half a year ago. The speech that they are.
I'm sorry, 5 months, a year ago, so it's either 5 months or a year ago?
No, nearly half a year ago.
Okay, so do you remember what that date was, just so that I can have that here?
The date that they're accusing?
Yes, sir.
Well, they're saying it's May 19th, but I have evidence that it was May 17th.
Okay. Okay, you may proceed.
The speech that they're alleging, I mean, with regards to, there's no threats, there's no fight words, there's no obstruction, there's no physical obstruction, and they're not alleging any of that. But the speech that they're alleging that is criminal is actually First Amendment protected speech. Ninth Court Circuit of Appeals case, Duran versus Douglas.
Do you have a copy of that with you, that you can provide to the court?
I don't have a copy of that case, I'm sorry.
So what does that case law talk about?
A person, I believe named Duran, insulted a police officer in the city of Douglas. I believe he flipped him off, used some profane language, and I believe that he was charged, and he appealed it to the Ninth Circuit, and it was overturned, determined to be freedom of speech.
Thank you. Anything further?
That's all I have.
Okay. Any response, Ms. Long?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, regarding the complaint that was filed, the date of the complaint was October 15th. I would ask that the court take judicial notice of the fact that the complaint was dated October 15th.
Okay, the court will take judicial notice of that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I ask questions of Mr. Boguet now?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Boguet, how many council meetings have you attended?
How many council meetings have I attended in my entire life?
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure. Kind of matters what council meetings you're talking about. If you're referring to Bisbee council meetings?
Bisbee council meetings.
I don't know the answer to that. I've been going to meetings for, possibly 6 or 7 years now. I could give you a guesstimate.
That's okay.
I don't know exactly how many meetings I've been to in my life.
Okay. After how many city council meetings that you have attended, have you been arrested for your speech?
After the city council meeting,
Mm-hmm.
have I been arrested for speech?
Yes.
None.
None. And have you been arrested because of comments you made towards council members or other members of the city government after attending a city council meeting?
I've been arrested for felony. The police.
How many times have you been in City Hall?
The new one or the old one?
Both.
I don't know. I don't keep a record of every time that I go to City Hall. So that's many years.
Many years.
I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know for sure how many times I've been to City Hall.
How many times have you been arrested or charged with a complaint because of your presence at City Hall?
Have I been arrested?
Or charged with a complaint because of your presence at City Hall?
I'm not sure. None. And I don't know.
Mr. Goget, even for this charge, you were never formally arrested, is that correct?
I was never arrested.
No further questions.
Thank you. Do you have any witnesses that you would like to have come to the stand?
Yes, may I, the state calls Detective Corporal Nick LeMay to the stand.
Miss, you can come up, Corporal. And I will swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will be providing at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, and have a seat.
Thank you.
And you may proceed, Ms. Gola.
Detective Corporal LeMay, please introduce yourself to the court.
Your Honor, Detective Corporal LeMay with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you.
Can you please describe, you just described where you work. How long have you been working in law enforcement?
Total time is just over 25 years.
And are you familiar with, based on your training and experience, are you familiar with the disorderly conduct statute?
I am, ma'am.
Have you made arrests for that before?
Many times in my career.
And also, are you familiar with the harassment statute?
I am.
Have you made arrests for that before?
I have.
How did you become familiar with this case?
In my current assignment, working as the investigator for the Cochise County Attorney's Office, I was brought into a meeting on approximately 9/23/20 of last year, 25. It was a meeting with Bisbee Police Chief Cox and County Attorney Lori Zucco.
What happened during that meeting?
During that meeting, Chief Cox brought up a potential conflict of interest investigation involving a city government official with the city of Bisbee and Mr. Goget.
Were you provided with a video?
I was.
What was the video of?
The video was a YouTube type video from the internet, appeared to be filmed using a cell phone camera, and it showed a contact between two individuals at the Bisbee City Refuse Center.
Is that a public place?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what place?
The Bisbee Refuse Center, I believe it's off of Torreyville, and it is a public place.
What, can you just, what sort of, refuse center is it?
Based on the video, I have not been there in person. Based on the video, it looks like a place where individuals can drop off trash and contribute to recycling.
Okay. You stated that that you saw this video, that someone provided this video to you,
Correct.
and, was the video available on public domain?
It was.
Which one?
I was informed that the video was on Mr. Goget's YouTube channel that he posts for public consumption. I'm told, I've never visited it, but I'm told he posts numerous videos for anyone in the public or on the internet to see.
What did you observe on the video?
The video is a contact between two individuals, Mr. Goget and Mr. Stephen Pocken, the former city manager of Bisbee. It starts off with Mr. Goget approaching Mr. Pocken, who is unaware of his presence in that area. Mr. Pocken is appearing to simply be disposing of recycling materials. Mr. Goget immediately starts to speak to him and inquires about, I would say, matters that relate to his professional capacity as the city manager of Bisbee.
What happens in the video?
Initially, the contact, Mr. Goget, is polite. He talks to Mr. Pocken, calls him on the video, says he's the city manager of Bisbee. However, it takes a turn.
How so?
He immediately, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the transcript in front of me, Your Honor, essentially says that Mr. Pocken is responsible for keeping tyrants in power to it's not the right word, but suppress the citizen of Bisbee. So he starts talking about his professional capacity in that manner.
Does Mr. Goget call, Mr. Pocken names in the video?
Multiple vulgar names.
Does Mr. Pocken raise his voice in the video?
Not at all.
Does Mr. Goget raise his voice in the video?
Multiple times.
Did Mr. Goget, or, I'm sorry, strike that. How do you know that it's Mr. Goget in the video?
Mr. Pocken is one of the methods I know. He has met Mr. Goget on multiple occasions, and when he made his initial report with the Bisbee Police Department, it's someone he's familiar with in the past, and he visually identified himself at the Bisbee Refuse Center that day.
Based on your training and experience as a law enforcement officer, are the words used by Mr. Goget words that would tend to provoke immediate physical retaliation?
Absolutely.
And why do you say that?
Mr. Pocken was acting as a private citizen, not in his official capacity. He was minding his own business, attempting to dump his trash. When verbally engaged by Nolan, who he was not expecting to be there, he stated something to the effect of he didn't have to answer to Mr. Goget and actually tried walking away. Mr. Goget then followed him to the rear of his vehicle where he was trying to get more items to dispose of. He's entering into his personal space multiple times. He routinely talks over him. When Mr. Pocken tries to answer him, he yells obscenities at him and talks over him. It's, in general, not a civil communication or even a conversation. It's a one-way beratement.
And on those same similar line of questioning, based on your training and experience as a law enforcement officer, do the words that, I know we haven't stated them explicitly, but Your Honor has viewed the video, but do the words that Mr. Goget used tend to intimidate, annoy, humiliate, or mentally distress another person?
Absolutely.
Based on your training and experience as a law enforcement officer, was this interaction on May 17th, on or about May 17th, a lawful conduct by Mr. Goget?
I don't believe it was.
You stated earlier that Mr. Popkin was not acting in his official capacity as the city manager. Why is that important?
Because in his official capacity as a public servant, he would absolutely need to be available to the public to answer questions. That's reasonable. However, the setting was not. He was minding his own business, trying to conduct his own private business. He was not on duty, as we normally say. And he was interrupted multiple times by Mr. Goget in his comments while trying to perform his personal business. And the contact, based on Mr. Popkin's demeanor, trying to separate himself from Mr. Goget, and generally not trying to engage in argumentative conversation with him, shows that.
Moving away from the video, have you had any other contacts with Mr. Goget?
Context, no, but I've observed him in public.
Can you describe that encounter that you've observed him in public?
I believe it was September 25th, a meeting at Bisbee City Council chambers. Based on everything I knew, I decided to attend the council meeting, but view it from the closed circuit security cameras.
What happened as a result of that meeting?
Nothing, as far as law enforcement action, or?
Yes.
Nothing.
Why not?
He committed no crime.
Are you aware of any arrests or charges that Mr. Goget had in connection with his appearance at city council meetings?
He has never been arrested for that conduct, for attending any city council meeting or function that I know of.
And on that same line of questioning, are you aware if Mr. Goget has ever been charged with a non-traffic related crime other than this current one?
Your Honor, I ran his criminal history as a routine practice in law enforcement. He has no arrests at all.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Goget, do you have any questions? Would you like to cross-examine this witness?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Is it LeMay?
You can call me Mr. LeMay. That's perfectly acceptable, sir.
Okay. So you're familiar with the First Amendment, correct?
I am.
Okay, so are you aware that critical speech of the government is First Amendment protected?
In what context? Because context matters.
Speaking to the government, having words of criticism to the government is First Amendment protected. And context, and of this, I guess if you want context, what we're talking about. You know, the day at the recycling center.
I need more. You're asking if it's a general question. Is that a general question you're asking of me? In general. without specific words being used?
Sure.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the speech that occurred at the recycling clinic on what I believe was May 17th, what they seem to believe was May 19th, is First Amendment protected. You're saying First Amendment protected speech?
No,
In what way is it not First Amendment protected?
because context matters, Mr. Goget.
What
Now,
is the context that matters in this case?
You were using language and your demeanor to contact a civil servant who was not acting in their professional capacity. You surprised them in a gotcha moment to get something on camera. Mr. Pauken tried to separate himself from you, and you continued to follow him and got into his personal space twice. He made it clear he didn't want to speak to you.
Whenever you say I followed him, did I follow him from one place to another, or you're saying that I followed him inside the recycling center?
You're going to have to clarify that because you followed him.
Did I follow him like outside? Did I follow him from the recycling center to another location, such as his house or the city council? Or are you saying that I followed him at the recycling center?
It was at the recycling center, which is a public place.
Okay. And whenever you said it was a gotcha question, right?
A gotcha moment is what I call it.
Moment. Is there any law that you can point to that makes a gotcha moment, as you said, illegal?
In the context of this, it was clearly unwanted. He didn't want to talk to you. You walked up on him with his back to you.
And Mr. Pauken was at the time the current city manager, correct?
He is.
He was. He's now the former, you said.
At the time, he was the current city manager, pro tem, I believe.
Did I make any threats to Mr. Pauken?
You did not.
Did I, you're familiar with what fight words are, right?
Yes.
In the legal, did I commit any fight, did I say any fight words to Mr. Pauken?
In the context of this, I believe you did.
What would the fight word be?
Your Honor, that would require me to curse in the court. Is that acceptable?
That is.
Okay. You called him a prick, called him a fucking son of a bitch, a coward, a tyrant, and whenever he tried to answer you, you told him to shut the fuck up. So you didn't really want a conversation. You just wanted to yell at him.
Yeah, but is that a fight word or is that just an insult? What you said?
In my opinion, it's a fight word, especially in combination with your conduct and your actions.
Did I say any words that refer to any violence?
No, but they can be interpreted as that.
Okay, so they can be interpreted, but I didn't. You're saying that I didn't say any words that would presume any violence?
Like what?
Any violent words or like suggestions of any violent actions or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so there was no violence. There were no words that suggested violence.
The definition of fight words doesn't require that. It just requires that the person who is on the receiving end of it interprets it that way.
Did I in any way physically obstruct anything that Mr. Pauken was trying to do that day?
Yes.
I physically obstructed?
Yes.
In what way?
Excuse me. Tell me what you mean by physically. Define that for me. Define that action for me.
Somebody's trying to get somewhere and you're stopping them from getting there.
Yes.
How did I do that?
When Mr. Pauken was at the rear of his vehicle trying to get items, you were blocking his access so that he could go back to doing to dropping off his recycling. You were in his path that he would ultimately take. You did eventually move.
Whenever you say I follow Mr. Pauken, about how far did I follow him?
I don't know. I don't have a measuring stick, and I can't tell by your video.
Just about, though, roughly. Did I follow him from here to here, like 5 or 10 yards, or did I follow him 100 yards?
Well, in the video, he is dumping his recycling items, and then he tries to disengage and walk away from you, and you continue to follow him while filming and yelling at him. So I would say, without holding me to it, 30 feet.
Whenever you say Mr. Pauken tried to disengage, in what way did he try to disengage from you?
He walked away from you, and you continued to follow him.
Did Mr. Falcon tell me to stop following him?
The audio is kind of goes in and out with the wind. I believe his initial statement is that he doesn't have to answer to you or something to that effect.
Did Mr. Falcon ask me any questions during this situation?
I don't remember that because you talked over him.
You don't remember if he asked me any questions?
No. Every time he tried to make a statement, you would curse at him and talk over him. It wasn't a civil conversation.
So what you're saying that I wasn't very polite?
At minimum, yes.
Okay, so what law, how is it against the law to not be polite in the United States of America where we have First Amendment, the right to freedom of speech?
There's no law against not being polite.
Okay, well, what law did I break?
The ARS statute for harassment and disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct, in what manner in what words did I say that would cause another person to want to physically retaliate?
Your Honor, I don't know quite how to answer that without talking about hearsay.
You want to rephrase your question?
What words did I use that would cause a reasonable person to physically retaliate?
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
So I had previously told Mr. Goudet to rephrase the question. It seems to me you're asking the same question, and he's answered that he wouldn't be able to answer.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, I'm pro se, so.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
If an individual calls another individual a name, a rude name, a mean name, would that individual have the right to physically retaliate against the person who called them a mean name?
I don't get into hypotheticals. I get into facts and based on what I'm presented with. So I can't answer that.
Okay, so I called Mr. Hawkins some mean names, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so would Mr. Hawkins, based on the fact that I called Mr. Hawkins some names, would he have the right to physically retaliate against me?
He could.
He could physically retaliate against me for calling him a name?
Multiple names and the conduct that you did following him around.
And what's the conduct?
I believe I've already answered that.
Well, you didn't answer how far I followed him around.
I did, approximately 30 feet.
Approximately. That's all I have.
Okay. Redirect.
Detective Portman LeMay, when you are in your law enforcement, when you're in your official law enforcement capacity, do you expect or understand people to use foul words towards yourself?
I do, and it happens often.
If you were followed around, let's say Walmart, off duty, not in your official law enforcement capacity, might you seek law enforcement involvement if someone were using foul words towards yourself?
I absolutely would, and I would do my best to separate myself from the situation and not escalate it.
Is that what Mr. Cochran appears to have done that day?
In my opinion, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's no other witness from the state, right?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Gouget, would you like to present your testimony?
This is just protected speech. What they're alleging is protected speech under the First Amendment.
Okay. Anything further from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding Mr. Goget's claim that this was connected to his filing of an action in Superior Court, there is no evidence that anybody at the county attorney's office, Cochise County Attorney's Office, or in law enforcement was aware of the filing at the time of the complaint filed here in Justice Court. Date stamped on October 15th, and there is no evidence that law enforcement or Cochise County Attorney's Office would have been aware of the date of the filing. And may I provide further argument or?
You may provide a closing statement if you wish at this time.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Goget was not engaged in a lawful exercise of constitutional right. He alleges in his anti-SLAPP motion that his First Amendments were violated, and this did not occur. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution is applicable to the states, like Arizona, via the 14th Amendment due process clause. Speech can be oral, written, or symbolic. Here, Mr. Goget's speech was both verbal and nonverbal. The type of speech that Mr. Goget engaged in was unprotected speech and would receive rational basis scrutiny by a court of law. There are 4 forms of unprotected speech, namely fighting words, words that incite illegal action, defamation, or false statements that hurt the reputation of others, and obscenity. Here, Mr. Goget's speech to Mr. Cochran that day could be construed as fighting words, or speech that would cause a reasonable person to breach the peace. This is why a disorderly conduct complaint was filed in the first place. I won't repeat the words that Mr. Cochran used, as they've already been stated, but another example of using words to incite as fighting words is yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. Yelling fire in a crowded movie theater when there is no fire is not a protected form of speech, since it may intend to incite chaos within the crowded movie theater. Further, Mr. Goget's speech incites illegal action. Mr. Goget's speech on May 17th was speech that would cause a reasonable person, such as Mr. Popkin, to incite imminent lawless action. This means that Mr. Goget's speech was likely to cause a reasonable person, such as Mr. Popkin, to engage in unlawful behavior. Luckily, that did not happen, but this is the basis for the state's charge of disorderly conduct and harassment against Mr. Popkin, against Mr. Goget. The First Amendment does not give a person such as Mr. Goget the lawful freedom of speech anywhere, any way, or any time. Harassment is not protected speech. There is case law regarding the First Amendment where the First Amendment right to freedom of speech is limited to time, place, or manner restrictions. Here, the regulation, a reasonable alternative form must be let's scratch that, sorry. As stated previously, when the court is conducting a First Amendment analysis of whether Mr. Goget was engaging in protected speech, it must use the rational basis balancing test, which will fail. As stated previously, the speech that Mr. Goget engaged in was unprotected speech, and Mr. Goget used fighting words intended to incite violence or intended to incite illegal action from Mr. Popkin. Now, the state is alleging via its complaint that Mr. Goget committed disorderly conduct and harassment on May 17, 2025. And as Mr. Goget correctly pointed out, it should say May 17th. Mr. Goget followed the victim, Mr. Popkin, who happened to be the city manager at the time, into a public place with no one else around. There, Mr. Goget committed disorderly conduct, a violation of 13-2904A3, when he followed Mr. Popkin around in a public place, with the insult, intent, or knowledge that his actions would disturb the peace of Mr. Popkin by using abusive or offensive language in a manner likely to provoke physical retaliation by Mr. Popkin. Following a public employee who is not acting in his official capacity in a public place does not give any person, including Mr. Goget, the right to intimidate, annoy, humiliate, or mentally distress another person. Abusive or offensive language is not permissible when it is delivered in such a way as to provoke immediate physical retaliation, and harassing such person cannot be protected speech. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Closing, Mr. Goget?
Just, speech cannot be criminalized under the First Amendment. That's really all that there is to this.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to take a few minutes just to go over my notes and come back with my decision on that motion.
All right. Bisbee Justice Court is now in session. All rise.
Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, and we are back on the record. So I tend to take a lot of notes. I write a lot. I think I should be a shorthand writer. I need to take shorthand so I can be faster on the notes that I take. I highlight the what I think is important. I also watched the video that was sent to me. I read the motions, obviously. And I would like to say to you, Mr. Goget, that as to the issue of filing the complaint like 5 months later, I just wanted to tell you that there is a statute. It's 13107. It's time limitations, section B2. The state has 1 year from the day of the incident to file a misdemeanor. So the state was on time with filing the complaint. So again, I watched the video. Like Corporal LeMay stated, it started with a cordial salute, but then it immediately turned ugly. I heard foul language, derogatory language. I saw a person that was doing something, it appeared to be throwing something into bins. And someone came to this person and disturbed what he was doing. I understand that calling city officials vulgar, foul language outside of their job site, unfortunately, is generally protected speech under the First Amendment. However, there is protection that does not extend, such as harassment against the official. Using foul language, using vulgar language to insult a public official, like I said, is usually protected. We know that it is not illegal to use foul language against any public officer, but it is unlawful to threaten or harass them. Your actions, Mr. Goget, are not protected under the First Amendment. The city manager was not on duty at the time you approached him. He was at a public place, I understand, the recycling station, which is a public place. but he was minding his business, doing something on a day off from work. I don't know how you knew he was going to be there that day, but you got there as well. You approached him, like I said, first cordially, and then using very ugly words towards him. And at that time, that disturbed his peace. ARS 132904 states that the action must be intended to disturb the peace of a person or neighborhood or done with knowledge that it will intend to do so. I'm sure you have the knowledge that it would do so, disturb someone's peace who's there doing something on their day off, like recycling. You were asked by him to stop. I couldn't get the whole conversation either because he was further away from the camera, so it was really hard to hear exactly what he was saying, but I did hear it for him. I did hear that he had asked you to not follow him, and you continue to follow him. And the statute on harassment states that a person commits harassment if the person knowingly and repeatedly commits an act or acts that harass another person, or the person knowingly commits one of the following acts in a manner that harasses. Number 2, continues to follow another person in or about a public place after being asked by that person to desist. And E, for the purpose of this section, harass means that conduct is directed at a specific person and that would cause a reasonable person to be seriously alarmed, annoyed, humiliated, or mentally distressed, and the conduct in fact seriously alarms, annoys, humiliates, or mentally distresses the person. Like I said, your actions, especially because of the harassment, are not protected under the First Amendment. And for those reasons, I am going to go ahead and deny your motion to dismiss. And thank you for being here this morning.
All right.